This is 7-foot Joel Embiid. That's 6'8" Jason Tatum. This guy in the middle, of course, is Kevin Durant, who's claimed on several occasions to be 6'9". But if we take this imaginary measuring stick, KD is more than an inch taller than Tatum, and he seems to be just as tall, if not taller than Embiid. KD is not 6'9". What he is, though, is a filthy liar. LeBron is listed at 6'9", and next to KD, he's much shorter. And here he is next to 6'10" DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah, KD is not 6'9", or 6'10", or even 6'11" for that matter. Our latest photo evidence in a statement from his family would claim that he's closer to 7 feet, which makes Kevin Durant the unicorn of all unicorns. As a 7-footer, KD would be just as tall as Dirk Nowitzki, but I've never seen Dirk move like this.
After his last 2 performances, Durant! Oh!
Giannis is listed at 6'11", but he can't shoot like KD.
Kevin Durant way outside, delivers!
Jokic is also 6'11", but he doesn't handle the rock like this.
Durant, the fake, the second, ankle breaker!
The fact that KD's a 7-footer makes everything from his shooting touch, to his handle, to his speed, to his agility far more impressive than the typical NBA giant. He has an advantage that many of us never knew he had. If KD's 6'9", does he get this shot over the outstretched arms of Wembanyama? No, it probably gets spiked into the earth. But since he's a 7-footer, his ability to shoot over literally anyone makes much more sense now. He's so long. KD is a one-of-one offensive assassin that you can't take your eyes off of. So why is he so disrespected? Whenever you bring up the name Kevin Durant, the reactions are polar opposites. You either hate him because he ruined the NBA, he's insecure, had burner accounts on Twitter, so you decide to write a 3-page essay about how much you hate KD. Like, seriously, that actually happened. Or you're on the other side. He's your GOAT, the greatest scorer of all time, and he's better than LeBron James. You either love him or you hate him, and most fans choose the latter. So with my unbiased opinion, I think it's time we put some respect on Kevin Durant's name, because there has never been anyone like him, and there never will be again. The unicorn of all unicorns.
What more could you have done to slow Kevin down, especially in the first half?
I mean, he's Kevin Durant.
KD, man. It looks way too easy.
Because he's killing me. Like, he's got 50. He's going to score 50.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
The hate towards KD is self-inflicted. I think that's something we can all agree on. He was the NBA sweetheart until he flipped the script with one of the most baffling free agency decisions in the sport's history. Or, in Stephen A's words, the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar, plain and simple. And he's right on the money. He threw the NBA out of balance and ruined what was a thrilling rivalry. Some players become hated for eliminating another team in the playoffs or for committing a dirty foul, turning an entire fan base against that one player. KD managed to do that to an entire sports league. So the hate he gets is justified. It was harsh, it was nasty, it was disrespectful, reaching its peak when the unthinkable happened. Durant suffered the death sentence of injuries, rupturing his Achilles on the road in Game 5 of the 2019 NBA Finals. And in that moment, we knew the hate towards Durant had gone too far. As he sat on the floor with his basketball career flashing right before his eyes, Raptors fans were cheering, taunting, pointing, and waving goodbye at him. Players on the court had to motion with their hands to tell the crowd to stop. Durant's basketball career was in jeopardy, and the reaction was a celebration. Moments later, the crowd came to their senses and gave KD a standing ovation on his way off the court. And in just a 10-minute span, the hate everyone had for Durant dissipated. No one knew if we'd ever see the same KD again, because like I said earlier, rupturing your Achilles is a death sentence. Over the years, notable stars have suffered the injury and never came back quite the same. From 2011 to 2013, Kobe was still as dominant as he's ever been, averaging 26 a game on 55% true shooting and producing at an elite level. And then it happened. In his 3 seasons post-Achilles, he averaged just 18 a game on a much lower 47% true shooting. The injury essentially ended his career. Klay Thompson suffered the same fate. He'd come back averaging fewer points on lower efficiency with a drop in production. The same goes for Patrick Ewing, DeMarcus Cousins, and Dominique Wilkins. Although Klay and Dominique came back at nearly the same level, every single one of these stars suffered a decline in scoring, efficiency, and production after tearing their Achilles. Returning as the same player is just a statistical improbability. Well, that's unless your name is Kevin Durant. KD didn't just return at the same level. He came back, and he was better. In 3 seasons prior to the injury, he was averaging 25 a game on 64% true shooting and elite production. The 3 years following his return, his scoring jumped to 28 points per game. He somehow became even more efficient while producing at an even higher rate. Kevin Durant is the anomaly. You're not supposed to become a better player after tearing your Achilles. The injury tends to end or diminish careers, not improve them. The man is a one of one, and he quickly became beloved again. KD wasn't as hated as he once was. Much of it faded after the injury. We felt bad for him. He was also out of Golden State, that helped too. But in no time, the hate was back in full force. KD was destroyed for creating a big 3 in Brooklyn with Kyrie and Harden and was laughed at when it failed. He was slandered for demanding a trade out of Brooklyn twice within 3 months, stating that he wanted the GM and the coach fired, and he got clowned when he didn't get traded and had to return to the Nets. KD was like a magnet for criticism. When he was traded to Phoenix, he was slammed for failing as the #1 option in Brooklyn and escaping to another contender, where a year after his arrival, they'd trade for Bradley Beal in hopes of building another super team. The hate became palpable once again, and that's where we sit right now. You either love him for his style and ethical way of hooping, or you hate him for the decisions and the situations that he's been in throughout the years. It's understandable. He does it to himself. But if you're one of those haters that allows this to distract you from KD's greatness and the way he's performing this late in his career, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Durant is still playing at a level that only LeBron and Kobe have ever reached this deep into their careers. They're the only 3 players to average 25 points per game in year 16 or later, and KD's been damn efficient too. I mean, for crying out loud, this dude is lighting up the Olympics like he's still in his prime. This type of stuff is unheard of. LeBron has been praised for the last half-decade for his longevity and sustained dominance. It's unfortunately overshadowed what KD has been doing. If LeBron wasn't a superhuman, we'd be marveling at KD's longevity and consistency. Durant has averaged over 25 points per game in 15 of his 16 seasons in the NBA. It's the most all time. Actually, it's the second most all time, behind LeBron James's 20. It sums up KD's career. He's always been in LeBron's shadow. His first finals loss was LeBron's first finals win. He's finished second in the MVP race 3 separate times. The man who won those 3 years? LeBron. KD eventually got the upper hand, beating him in back-to-back finals, but he had to go to the dark side to get there, suffering an overwhelming hatred that clouds the prestige of his rings, a cloud that has followed his every move since. KD's career has unfortunately taken a back seat to LeBron's, and whenever he was able to take the wheel, he became despised by the entire basketball world. And it sucks, because it takes the attention away from his greatness. There will never be a duplicate of Kevin Durant. His height, his skill set, his ability to recover from the impossible and face adversity is unparalleled, but it's been stained by pure hatred and disrespect. We have to appreciate him now, because the clock is ticking and there isn't much time left for the unicorn of all unicorns. KD's one of my all-time favorite players, and I've always felt that he deserves more respect for what he's done over the course of his career. So if you love him, consider subscribing. If you hate him, consider subscribing. I make videos every week and I'd appreciate your support. Now go watch some Kevin Durant highlights, and keep in mind that this is a 7-footer.